Welcome everyone to the Ara River Valley. Wait, I said that before, right? Well, of course I did. In the previous episode, I woke up on the bank of the same river. And therefore, if you are in a hurry on your journey through the Pyrenees, you can completely skip the 10th episode of my series. You won't see the north face of the Vinyamal Peak or its glacier, but you will shorten the hike by a day, 2 or 3, depending on how fast you walk over the mountains. As you probably already know from my series, I walk really slowly in the mountains. That's because I'm interested in everything. I want to stop and enjoy the views everywhere, and I have no problem eating lunch for 2 hours while my clothes that I washed in the river dry on the sun. So I spent a couple of hours near this campsite that offers you a shower and a hot meal. And then I went on through this green valley, down the river, to a village called Torla. In this village, I visited an information center where I had to make 2 important decisions. The funny thing is that one of those decisions is the best I made in the Pyrenees, and the other, the absolute worst. Let's start with the best decision. It took me from the village to the ridge that rises above the valley of the Arazas River. And not that the view of the surrounding mountains from the bottom of the valley isn't pretty, but from the top of the ridge, it's absolutely breathtaking. Well, judge for yourself. I think it's clear why this valley is considered the most beautiful in Spain, right? But remember that there is not a single drop of water on the entire ridge. I learned that the hard way. And if it weren't for the good people who wandered around in the car and shared their water with me, I would have suffered a painful thirst all night. But this way, I could enjoy incredible views not only of the valley, but also of the 3rd highest peak of the Pyrenees, which I decided to climb the next day. I can't find the words to describe what a wonderful morning awaited me on the ridge. I have never had a better view of the surroundings directly from the tent. And since the very top of this ridge forms the border of the national park, and there is nothing but rocks and grass in the area, I didn't have to worry about causing any problems by spending the night here. And so, I could enjoy the view of the valley, which is filled by hundreds of tourists from buses every day, in peace. And you can trust me that from the forest down there by the river, they didn't have the view that I had here. My next steps towards the Góriz Lodge, located below Monte Perdido, continued above the valley of the a.s.l River. I was glad that I didn't have a long walk today, because the views of the surrounding area kept me stopping and taking pictures. But at the same time, I was anxiously looking for any sign of a spring, because yesterday's donated water was running out quickly in the heat, and the Góriz Lodge was still far away. In the end, I found a small trickle of water only 2 kilometers before the lodge, and believe me, it was a joy to sit down, wait for the bottle to fill up, and then have a good drink. So what was the worst decision I made in the village of Torla on my way through the Pyrenees? It was my online purchase of a tent site next to this lodge. Why? Well, we all know that a bivouac has always been an emergency overnight stay in the mountains. You lie down after sunset and leave the place before sunrise without leaving a single trace. But the Góriz Lodge has set up an illegal campsite nearby, collecting money from gullible tourists who, if they don't put down their tent in the morning, can be fined by the park rangers, because it's illegal to operate a campsite in a national park. Let me tell you that I was very angry with myself for falling for this scam. And so, I will now show you where you can bivouac comfortably on the way to the top of Monte Perdido. For free, of course. The path that meanders on the slope above the lodge, where I spent the restless night in the tent, led me to places that are perfect for a bivouac. Just a few steps from the trail, about a half-hour walk from the lodge, you will find this place under a huge rock wall. And further up the trail at the only lake on the route, you will find some more places to spend the night. But I can honestly tell you that nothing I experienced at the lodge last night could spoil my ascent to the first 3,000 peak of my life. Monte Perdido loomed above me, and with every step on this trail I took, I was getting closer to its summit. This section of the trail, located just above the lake, is the most difficult. It is a steep slope full of deep gravel, where for every 2 steps forward, I took 1 step back. But eventually, I stumbled across the gravel slope, and after passing yet another nice sleeping spot, just below the top, I reached the summit. And these are the views from the top of the Lost Mountain in all their beauty. My God, I was happy. The next episode of my series about crossing the Pyrenees will be a special one. I'll show you what it took to make this series, what happened behind the camera, and what other places I saw off the main trails in the Pyrenees. If you like my new travel series, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know below the video. By liking and sharing this video, you can support production of new videos, and I thank you for all of that. See you next time.